Hey guys, thanks for hanging out with me tonight. It's Tuesday, January the 18th, and my name is Catherine Gibson. I'm Superstar Director for Team Faith Trust and Purple Pixie Dust. And if you have been following me for any amount of time, you know how I feel about time. I feel like time is your most valuable resource that can only be spent once. There's no way to earn more time or grow more time. You can only spend it once. So thank you for spending time with me tonight. I will try and make it worthwhile. So let's get started. Today, we are going to talk about how January kind of stinks. And you might be surprised to hear me say that because I always try to look for the most positive way to say a thing. But sometimes we have to just admit when a thing stinks. And relatively, in the view of an entire year of business, January is often a down month. If you are a newer consultant and you joined sometime since last January, it's very possible that you had several months in a row of increased PRV, increased interest, increased customer base, more excitement, more fun. So when you get to January and it doesn't feel like all the other months, you can be like, what the heck? What am I doing wrong? What's wrong with Scentsy? Do I need to leave? Do I need to find a different business to join? Do I need to like jump off before it's too late? So I have a little analogy to share with you. And if you were with me last January, this might sound familiar, but it hopefully still works. So I want you to think about if you have ever been to the ocean. I think a lake would work too, but I feel like the ocean is a more effective illustration. When you go to the ocean, the water isn't still, right? It's not like a pond. The water is not mirror-like or like glass. It is constantly moving, and the waves are coming in and the waves are going out. And it's really fun to play in the waves, right? It's fun to play in your business. It's fun to get to know the products, get to know the company, get to know your teammates, meet new people, learn different ways to party, different ways to share the product. If the waves kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger, though, well, one thing, you'd exhaust yourself and probably drown. Nobody likes that. Um, Also, there would be like everything would be destroyed if the water just kept getting higher and higher. The tide has to go out at some point, right? It never goes away completely. The ocean, the fun is always there, but there are levels, and you can't have the beach with just one. It can't always be high, it can't always be low. And the movement is really what makes it fun and interesting. So let's relate this to our business. Okay. Now, I joined in January 11 years ago, and my wise sponsor never told me that January was a slow month. So guess what? January has never been a slow month for me. I was excited. I joined. I read all the things on the workstation. Facebook wasn't a really big thing then. Neither was YouTube, or I wasn't aware of it. So I read the things. I did what the workstation said, promoted to certified in my first month. It was fantastic. And actually the months after that went down, but that's beside the point. No matter when we join, there will be natural ebbs and flows with our business. There will be natural energy around certain seasons. We are just coming off of the biggest shopping season of the year. Maybe you've kind of tapped out your first warm market, your first circle of family and friends that you know. And maybe it's time to meet some more people. Maybe people are paying bills from the holidays. Those are real things, but don't trick yourself into thinking that those are reasons for a slow month. I completely lost my train of thought, but that's okay. So I'm gonna go back to my notes for a second. Here we go. The fairest way to look at your business is to compare this month with the same month last year. So if you haven't been in for a year yet, you don't really have a fair thing to compare to. For me personally, or for anyone who's been here for at least a year, I recommend look back at last January. Okay, maybe your sales this month aren't as high as they were in September, October, November, or even December yet. We're only halfway through the month. But look back at last January and see what you did last January. Okay, that's the only real fair comparison. When you are at the beach, when you go to the beach, what do you do while you're waiting for the water to come back in? You don't just pack up and go home. Well, maybe you do if it's nighttime, but you play, right? Maybe you build a sandcastle, maybe you collect shells, maybe you go splash in the low water and wait for the waves to come back. When you get to the beach at the beginning of the day or whenever time you get there, I don't like going early in the morning, but you don't just park in the parking lot, grab your chair and set it up next to your car. You bring yourself, you bring all your stuff to the water, right? Same thing in our business. It doesn't make sense for us to say like, okay, well, I'm here, I'm waiting for my business to come. The water's not going to come to you. Your business won't come to you. You have to go get it. So in a month that seems naturally a little bit slower, it might take more effort to get the sales, to have the conversations, or to make new contacts. You might need to try new ways of making contacts. It also is okay to just sit in your chair and relax a little bit. I don't mean don't work your business entirely, but slower months can be a good time to catch your breath, to declutter your office. It's transition month, so you want to make room for all the new spring, summer supplies and products. You could do some training. That could be either training for yourself or training for your team if you have one. You can work on a plan for the year. I know Mackenzie said she's doing a dream board tomorrow. So you could work on your kind of vision for what you want to accomplish this year, who you want to be by the end of the year. And that's what we've been talking about this month, is focusing on the small things that we can do every day that will get us to who we want to be or closer to who we want to be by the end of the year. So without the slower or lower months, it would be very difficult to catch your breath, really. If you were constantly hitting new peaks every single month, you'd get exhausted. Just like if the waves never calmed, you would wear yourself out and drown. So January is kind of stinky sometimes in that it is naturally lower than other months. Take advantage of the slight slowness to evaluate what is working for your business, what's not working. Okay, maybe something can be tweaked, maybe something can be cut out, maybe something you tried worked really well and you forgot about it, and it's time to try that again. January is a fantastic time also to, I like calling it re-follow up, or I talk about deep follow-up. January is a great time to go through every contact you have and touch base with literally anyone who has ever bought from you or considered buying from you. Just touch base. I was sending messages, well, every day really, but I shared in my team page last night, this is the message I'm sending. We just got a huge dump of snow in Ontario. And so the message I've been using this week is, hey, first name, I hope you're safe and warm today. Insert emoji. And then I would say, I'm checking in because January is our semi-annual sale. And depending on who it was, I would also mention it's Bring Back My Bar. And then I would simply say, are you ready for some refills? Question mark. So that's 2-3 sentences tops. It's not pushy, it's friendly, it's checking in on them, but it's also clear and asking a question. So this is a great way to, yes, get some orders, but also to further the conversation or the relationship. This business is a people and a relationship business. It's not just a product or a transaction, because people can buy products like ours anywhere. They buy because they know, like, and trust you. And if they never hear from you, they're not going to know you very well or trust you, right? So checking in with literally everyone. Another check-in that has worked really well in January also has been light bulbs. Okay, this is literally the cheapest product that we sell is light bulbs, but you can't use a warmer without it, most warmers anyway. So you can say, hey, first name, I'm doing a quick check-in to see how you're fixed for light bulbs, something like that. I don't have this one written down, but same idea, 2-3 sentences. How have you been? Are all your warmers still working? Do you need bulbs while they're on sale? Question mark. I did this one time and got a 500 PRV party just by checking with every single person, every person. Because if they don't need light bulbs, no big deal. They're not going to feel like they're hurting your feelings. They're going to respond to you. And so many people said, oh, I don't need light bulbs, but I need wax, or I don't need light bulbs, but I need washer lifts, or whatever. It's a very low commitment item. It's low pressure. You're not asking them to spend $1,000. A light bulb is $3 and it's on sale for $270. But you're checking in. And also, light bulbs are key, because often the people who don't need more wax or haven't been using their wax is because their bulb has burnt out and they don't know where to get a new one. They don't have your number. They don't know if you're still doing Scentsy, so on and so forth. Okay, this is the month to make sure that everyone knows that you still do Scentsy. That should never, ever be a question. And I know that sometimes we get in our own heads and feelings about, well, I've been sharing too much Scentsy. People are sick of it. Maybe you're just sick of it. People don't see most of what we post. So this is a really good month to check in with all of your people. Okay. Talked about customers. This is also a fantastic month to check in with your teammates. If you have even one teammate, reach out to them, ask them how they're doing, how their family is. Make sure they know that it's transition month. Make sure they know that they need to order their new supplies and what they need, and to make sure that they get the right language and country catalogs and so on. Ask them how you can support them. Ask them what their goals are, but reach out to your team as well, because same thing, it's a relationship business and people do business with people they know, like, and trust. If your team never hears from you, they're not going to feel like they know you or trust you. So these are really important things. And they're a thing that can be done a little bit at a time, a little bit every day. 5 minutes a day of sending messages, super simple. Shameless plug for the Amy app. They really should pay me for plugging it so much, but you can enroll for the Sell with Amy app in your workstation. It's just an app on your phone and it syncs with your workstation. So it takes all the information of your customers, what they ordered, when they ordered, and then it prompts you to follow up with them. It does the same for teammates. So you don't have to remember or keep track or make a binder or a checklist or whatever. It's all in here and it's all there for you. You can go in once a month. You can update the message template. So those messages that I was suggesting to you, you can literally type that in your message template, so that when you tap on Susie Scentsy and see that she hasn't ordered in 3 months, the template, the text message will automatically say, hey, first name, hey, Susie, how have you been? Question mark. January is our semi-annual sale month, comma. Do you need any new bars? Question mark. And you just send it with a tap. You don't have to type it 11 billion times. It's super simple and it can be done a little bit a day. And I love doing my Amy tasks when I am comfy with a cup of coffee, or when kiddos are in school, when I'm sitting in the car waiting for him after school. Times when I'm sitting anyway, and I have 5 minutes, and you just shoot off a few messages. That is really my biggest tip for making January not a slow month. I know that it can be really discouraging to feel like you're posting and putting beautiful pictures and video out on social and not getting a lot of response. I personally think that a lot of people are taking time off of social media and just simply not on as much. Um, so don't take it personally if people aren't seeing or engaging. Do both. Okay, do the post still, because there's always somebody who will see it. But don't ever neglect the one-to-one reach out, right? We, again, in Ontario right now, January 2022, are more or less locked down again. People crave interaction, and a little friendly personal message might be just what they need to make their day. Order or not, it doesn't matter. You can get a little conversation going, and people will remember the way that you made them feel. So maybe they won't even order this month. Maybe they don't need light bulbs or wax or anything. But maybe next month, when you start sharing the new catalog, or maybe next time there's a join special or something happening, maybe then they'll be interested because you took the time now while the tide was out to work on that relationship or build that sandcastle or whatever the case may be. We talk a lot about how our business is planting seeds and it's like a garden. And like, let's say you planted grass or bamboo and you water it and it grows, it sprouts, it just keeps growing forever, right? Our business is not like that. It's not a constant shoot up. It is like the waves, and they get higher and they get lower and get higher and get lower. The thing that you can count on, though, is that it is constant. It is always going to be there. Scentsy isn't going anywhere. So you can take this month for what you need it to be. You can play in the sand. You can dip your toes in the water. You can swim further out and really dig for sales. It's entirely up to you. But just because it's lower right now doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. Doesn't mean there's anything wrong with the business or the company. It just means that it's not as high as November. And this November will be great too. And you might have to work a little harder for it, or you might just set a lower goal for this month. You might just take some time to set yourself up for success for the next catalog season. All of that is fine, but don't panic. Your business isn't going anywhere.